A very good evening, and I am back today with yet another topic to be discussed. Today's topic, as you all know, is about relationships between a husband and a wife. But this um, episode, I don't want to dedicate only for the husbands and the wives. It is a very common thing over the whole uh, world, because this is a relationship which is the most important relationship in our own lives. And I today actually took this topic especially because today is my wedding anniversary. This is the 34th wedding anniversary of Harish and myself. And thank you, Amrita. And uh, I actually chose this because I find myself to be a lot experienced now after all these years of togetherness in my marital life. Very often we get to hear marriages are made in heaven. It is heavenly, no doubt. But then I am a little restrictive about really believing that marriages are actually made in heaven. I would love to believe that marriages are made on the earth, and also create the relationship in the marriage between the husband and the wife is created on the earth. Because one thing I uh, definitely believe, that uh, marriages, uh, the relationship in marriage really does not take birth by itself. It has to be created. The other day, I was telling you that relationships should be spontaneous. I'm not contradicting in any way. Those are relationships beyond your marital life, beyond your family. But today I'm talking about the relationship between the husband and the wife. Now, if you see that in a married life, a husband and a wife has no fight, do you feel comfortable? I really don't, because uh, fight is an outcome of, I believe, individuality. Fight is an outcome of independence of thought and independence of expression. Uh, you fight because you have an identity, you have a unique thought, you don't follow anybody, you have your own understanding about yourself and your life, and that you uh, express, and then you definitely tend to fight. But the fight also has to have uh, certain parameters. It has to have uh, a good language, mutual respect, and at the same time, the pitch, the voice level, the decibel. Because if you're shouting, yelling, and you are abusing, that sort of fight is little, I think, obnoxious and not really appreciable. And I don't think anybody would like to have such fights. Of course, they do happen, but I will come to that later. All right. Now, marriages, be it love marriage or arranged marriage, trust me, there is no difference. We all get married with a dream. Now, many people have a pre-marriage dream also, which unfortunately I did not get time because I got married at 20. And before that, I was studying, and after that, also, I was studying. Even today, I'm studying. And thing is, I never dreamt of what sort of life I would have. But there are people who definitely have certain dreams in their eyes that my marriage will be like this, my marital life will be like this, my husband would be like this. I never had such, um, privilege. Doesn't matter. I had chosen my husband already when I was 15, and in 20 I got married. But then I had no dreams, I had no aspirations, I had no wishes that my husband will be like this, my this is what. So I had no problem as such. But then I'm not telling you about myself, and I don't want to get into the I syndrome, that what I did, what I did, what I did. No, what all of us do. Let us talk about that. So generally, people have really dreams of having a romantic fairy tale love, and in the initial days at least. But then all marriages don't start with that. So, like, see, all cars, when you start, they don't make similar noise, do they? Some start very swiftly, some start with a little jerk, some start similarly. Marriages also start with different ways. Some are really fairy tale startings, some may be a little dull and boring, some may be a little hesitant, but then trust me, the outcome may not be the same. The consequence may not be the same. The consequence, like if even if it is a dull starting, it can be a very exciting ongoing. So it is a very important part. Uh, in a marriage, generally the spouses need to understand each other, need to respect each other, need to have priority for each other. I believe if these things are there, along with few more virtues like honesty, transparency, uh, little importance, that also includes in priority, of course, and expression. Now, uh, if suppose you love your spouse a lot, but you don't feel like you feel that my spouse should be able to understand me, that I love him or her so much. But then he or she may not have the ability or the urge or the inclination to try to understand what is there inside you going on. So your expression is very, very important. If you don't express, it becomes terrible. At times you become depressed. At times you feel lost. That does this fellow or does this lady really love me? And one is expressing, the other is not. There comes up a little bit of um, sourness, of course. So trust me, if you are not expressive, please be expressive. When I see my son and daughter-in-law, or my daughter and son-in-law expressing their love, overtly, beyond the bedroom, outside, they hug each other, they kiss each other, they touch each other. We in our times would have felt that, oh my God, how can we do this? This is something which should be done within the four walls of the house. No. Why? He or she is your wife, he or she is your husband. If you are touching, because this touch, this hug assures the other spouse, the spouse, very to be more confident. Today's world is a world of show. Today's world needs uh, more expression because we have shortage of time, paucity of time. because we are busy all the time. So, in this busy world, we should be able to be together as much time as we can. What happens during like just after marriage, when you have children, maybe, or you are actually uh, having a busy time with a family, so you get engrossed in all those work, you know. Suppose you have a joint family, you are more into making others happy, but we in the process we forget to probably give that extra uh, time to the spouse. So, what we should be doing even after getting a child, it happens so because most of the time is consumed by the family, by the child. If you're working, your work, household chores, so many things. So, what you should be doing is you should start dating your husband or your wife within the house or outside the house. Just go for a little drive or just have maybe evening, uh, sit down together and talk over the coffee. Sit just with hand in hand and watch TV. These things ignite, increase your proximity. Your physical proximity has got a lot of thing to do with your relationship proximity. If you want to have a beautiful, smooth relationship, you have to be mentally and physically close to each other. Now, in the whole process of being proximal to each other, that doesn't really mean that you stop giving each other space. Don't find it oxymoron, because being physically proximal, near, close to each other, or mentally close to each other, doesn't mean that you will not give your spouse some more space. The space what the spouse actually enjoyed before marriage, he or she should be given the advantage of going out with their friends, maybe sometime have a lone party with the friends, or practice something what he or she used to be doing before, and you should not encroach on those areas. Accept the person until unless he or she has really harmful uh, practices or habits. uh, Allow the person to be himself or herself. If you really allow a person to be uh, the self what he or she was, there would not be much clash. Accept your spouse as it is, because you have chosen him or her, or you have been uh, wedded with a person of your parents' choice, and your choice was also asked for. So now you have to actually work in the relationship. So, working in the relationship is very, very important. It does not grow by itself at all. If you just leave it, maybe it will wilt out one day. And then there will be clashes, there will be distance, there will be misunderstandings, there will be fights which will be irreparable. And that should not happen. No marriage goes without fight, I said before also. But fights should be decent. And it's very important that if you have a tussle, if you have a fight, or if you have an argument, please sort it out before you go to sleep. Wake up with a fresh day. It's very, very important. Ups and downs are part and parcel of a spicy married life. And the more the spices, more tasty it is. So let it be, let it happen. But take it in your own stride. Accept it. Sometimes it's good to agree to disagree and proceed. What's wrong? You have this point of view, I have this point of view. Let us have our own points of views and let's move on. What's wrong? And this mutual respect, if it goes on, this respect will be bearing rich fruits. Now, if you have got anything to express which you did not like or you have not, you don't agree to, just see to it that you don't express it in front of others. For that point in time, you have to keep quiet and later on sort it out between yourselves. The more you start arguing in front of people, you invite more and more people to interfere into your relationship. But would you like to invite anybody between you two? I won't. Okay? So please do it yourselves and you will definitely have a beautiful, blissful marital life. Now, what do you think actually are the things which create distances in married life, between spouses? It is when we start nagging or cribbing about each other, interference of people beyond you two, or maybe you are really not content with certain things which your spouse practices. Now, there are certain things which can actually help you overcome these feelings. These are something which are again natural, but little not healthy. Always remember that your physical health and your relationship health are almost similar. Half of it is psychosomatic. What you feel like today I feel I'm not feeling well. Now, I'm a little not well. And then I said, oh, I'm really feeling very unwell. I don't want to get up. You will start feeling all the more not well. Like I'll tell you, due to certain physical discomfort, medical problems, my mornings are not very wonderful. So what I do, I keep my work during morning so that I can get up in the morning, dress up in the morning and get fresh. So that I begin the day with a bang. Otherwise, my medical problem will not allow me to do so. Similarly, your health of the relationship also has a lot of things to do with your way you think about your relationship. Keep telling yourself that I have a beautiful marriage. My husband or my wife is so wonderful. She does such a lot for. Try to appreciate. More you appreciate, more you recognize what your spouse is doing, instead of trying to find out what your spouse is not doing, will do much more better than worse. Your relationship will be much healthier. Now, when you start, finding faults in others, putting your spouses down in front of others, or dislike whatever he or she does, all these things keep on increasing the distance between the spouses. And that is really sad. And more sad if you have kids. But then, if things go beyond your hands, and if you start feeling that no, I am being mishandled, you should talk it out, not look for parting. Because parting is very easy. It is not at all difficult today. Everybody is educated, everybody stands on their own feet. You can just leave each other and go and have a life of your own. But then don't forget that the life which you have of your own, a part of it you have already shared with somebody else, given to somebody, isn't it? So try as much as possible. Be a little orthodox in this part. Try to mend as much as possible. Like your favorite shirt, you don't want to give up. You would like to stitch it up a little, button it up a little, and you would like to stretch a little more days to wear that shirt for some more time because you love that shirt. Similarly, let the relationship be given some more time. Idle out the differences, let it idle out and let it recover by itself, and you also start putting in some more manure, some more pesticide, which are going to kill the bacteria which has infested the relationship. It's very, very important. Losing a relationship does not make you happier. It will bring back lots of memories, and many a times many marriages lose track because we don't take care. We feel that we have taken care, actually we've not. So sitting back and retrospecting is a very, very important exercise which you need to do for your relationship in marriage. It's not a very easy relationship because here you are coming from two backgrounds, two cultural backgrounds, educational backgrounds, so many things, you see. And you are coming to make a new family, a family of your own, a creation of your own, which should be so, so very close to you and so very cherishable. Why you want to lose out on it? Isn't it? We sitting in India, we often say that bahar to aajkal itne divorce. Have you actually seen whether really bahar itne divorce हो रहे हैं? नहीं. अभी मैं देख रही थी उस एक वीडियो, कैलिफोर्निया में एक शादी हो रही थी. अब शादी के टाइम पर ब्राइड को कोरोना हो जाता है and she is supposed to be quarantined. So she sits in the window and the bride stands outside the house and they hold the either edge of the ribbon and they take the oath. Why they touch that ribbon? That is the way they are touching their hands, because now they have to, the girl is quarantined, so the boy cannot hold the hand. So the ribbon was used. See, you can actually make so much of use of your ideas to be close to each other. Make every effort to be close to each other. Whenever you get time, be together, talk together. Try to find out having common interests. Commonalities actually help a lot. Interests, choices, let them be same. Okay, and in the process what happens at the end, कई बार हम लोग बोलते हैं कि बहुत साल शादी हो जाने के बाद हस्बैंड वाइफ बड़े भाई बहन जैसे हो जाते हैं, और ये सच्चाई है. हम लोग खून के रिश्तेदार तो नहीं होते हैं, पर हम सबसे करीब के रिश्तेदार होते हैं. हम एक्चुअली रिश्तेदार भी नहीं होते हैं. हम तो बड़े रोमांटिकली ये भी बोल सकते हैं कि हम एक जान हैं, हो जाते हैं. राइट? तो ये होता है शादी और शादी के में रिश्ता. और ये रिश्ते के जैसे सुंदर रिश्ता शायद कुछ ना हो, क्योंकि ये रिश्ते से शुरू होता है बाकी हर रिश्ता. शादी एक बार हो गई तो दो परिवारों में शादी हो जाती है. बहुत सारे रिश्तेदार आ जाते हैं उसके बीच में, सबके बीच में प्यार बंटना चाहिए, सबको इक्वल इम्पोर्टेंस मिलना चाहिए। अगर हम एक दूसरे की कदर ना करें तो फिर कैसे हम एक दूसरे के परिवार को अपनाएं, सबको कैसे प्यार करें, है ना? तो ये बहुत बहुत ज़रूरी है। और रिश्तेदारों के बीच अगर रिश्ता ना हो तो रिश्तेदार कैसा? रिश्तेदारों के बीच में तो बड़ा प्यारा सा रिश्ता होना चाहिए ना, और वो होगा तभी तो मज़ा आता है परिवार का। इट्स अ वेरी ब्यूटिफुल institution, marriage, which brings about so many changes in your family, and it's so lovely to have so many more people with you, isn't it? Now, why does a marriage fail? Marriage fails when there is no transparency. Marriage fails when we cheat on each other. Marriage fails when we are absolutely opposite in our ideologies, thought processes. Marriage fails when we fail in our personal lives, maybe sexual lives, maybe some problems, So there has to be a limit. You should be trying your best, but then I will not advise anybody after giving a huge try, a humongous try. I don't want any of you to carry on with a bad marriage, especially when there is a kid, because a bad marriage does far more bad to the child than having a single parent. So, if you feel that your marriage has become a burden, then it is better to let it go. Doesn't matter. And there's nothing to actually sulk about. Actually, you are doing a favor to each other. You are giving freedom to each other to live their own lives. Everybody has the right. Maybe you are a wrong match. It's okay. Doesn't matter. If you want to get married again. If you want to live yourself, live by yourself. That freedom you should enjoy. But at a drop of the hat, if you want to break marriages, that is not fair. But carrying on a bad marriage is again not fair, because you are doing harm to yourself, you're doing harm to your spouse, you're doing harm to your family, you're disturbing everybody, and you are not living your life, and you are not allowing others to live your life. So you must give up, because this is not end of all. But it should not happen because of your whims and fancies. You should not try to find out just a fault and then you start cribbing and nagging over the whole marriage and make it stale and dirty. That's not right. But if it is going wrong, amicably try to part your ways. That's very, very important in your lives, because you deserve a good life after all, because you have only one life. I always believe that I was never born before, and neither I will be taking a birth again. This is what I have got today, and this is what I'm going to have forever. So this life I will always cherish and make others also cherish it. With this, I will say goodbye, and sharing my thoughts on marriage on my marriage anniversary was one pleasure I had and gifted it to myself. Thank you all for being with me. You all are lovely people that you keep on encouraging me every time I come live. When I get to hear on the Saturdays I don't speak, when they call up or they send me messages or they just ask that, don't you have a FB live today? I feel so good. I feel so grateful, so thankful that my people love me so much. These people are mine, and I could stretch myself out to them. And that is the gift I get. Thank you.